Welcome to the Pearl Perspective Marzi Manifest. I'm Lizzie Pearl, and I've been manifesting for 11 years.
I'm Mario, and I'm one of her manifestations.
And together we're Marzi. We're here to help you how to live your best life and teach you how to make it exponentially better.
So thank you for joining us every Monday to improve all of our lives together.
We're grateful for you. Keep manifesting. Hello and welcome to the Pearl Perspective Marzi Manifest Monday. I'm here with my darling boyfriend Mario.
That would be me. Hello everyone. This is the first time we're doing this, so bear with us as we try to feel out how exactly we want to structure this whole shebang.
I was thinking that I wanted to do a podcast just out of the blue. I was like, inspired thought podcast, because I've wanted to do one for a while because I love listening to them, and I was like, I could probably have it as a thing that I could put somewhere and also on my website and YouTube. But yeah, here we are. Here I am with Mario because he makes things feel better.
Well, that's very nice of you, honey. So I guess a natural place to start with this then is, and also for my knowledge too, because I'm not sure I fully understand the concept, what is the basis for this? That informed, or what was the phrase you used again? Informed thinking?
Inspired thought.
Inspired thought, thank you. Do you mind explaining that, just so that everyone here will know exactly what we're talking about?
Yeah, so the Pearl Perspective is my whole thing for manifesting, and manifesting uses the laws of the universe to create the life that you want, right? And it requires your subconscious to work with you, but it is working with you, so you're fine there. And
it's just about putting it into tangible motion, so to say.
It is. And so inspired thought is when your subconscious gives you ideas for things that you've been either wondering about or wanting to do, and it's pretty much your subconscious mind having your back. And inspired action is when you take action on those thoughts. They are critical to manifesting. Sometimes inspired action and inspired thought can just be acting as if, or practicing your mental states and mental diet and imaginal scenes.
So,
yes.
Mental diet. So, like, for example, if I'm hungry and I make myself a sandwich, is that an inspired thought, or do you mean something else?
It could be. Everything is manifesting. So having a sandwich, if you are hungry, is fulfilling that need, because manifesting is here to fulfill our needs and our wants. So it is. But it could also be something simple, like just living your life and coming across a synchronicity that you do not expect.
Pause. What exactly is a synchronicity, though?
So a synchronicity is a meaningful coincidence. It's when, like, for example, the other day we went to Olive Garden and we saw some of my friends from work that I hadn't seen in a while. It was funny because that morning I had seen a display that I thought that they would have loved, but they weren't there to see it because they are on a leave for a beautiful reason. And I was thinking, I wish I could show this to them. And Mario and I had a gift card that we were going to use for a date, either to this one place near my job or to Olive Garden. And then I was like, let's do Olive Garden. And we were going to do one that was closer to home, but we decided to do one closer to work. And lo and behold, we stumbled into them, and it was a synchronicity because I got to tell them exactly what it was that the display had that they would have loved. And also, I was just living my life, and he was just living his life, and we were just going about our day, and synchronicity happened.
So, now you see, I remember that. After all, I was there. Part of the,
You were there?
Unbelievably, yes, I was. And I do remember you mentioning that it's a synchronicity, that you were thinking about this and thinking about getting to see them and tell them. And then it just so happened the one day we decided to go to an Olive Garden that we've never been to before, that we were meaning to go to at some point, it just happened to be at the right time, that 5 minutes later, the people you wanted to see to talk about that same day showed up in the restaurant.'t telling me that that happened because of the power of your thoughts, though?
I am, because it did.
That was very newscaster of you. But you know what? Go off, Queen. Go off all the way. But
thank you.
So then, if these are the types of things that you can control with your thoughts, and by molding your sort of your subconscious thought pattern to these things, what does that mean then? Does that have to do with then, like how you said, nurturing thought and guiding yourself through life? Is that another perspective on the matter entirely that will answer this sort of question? Or really just, what is the implications of all of this then?
Yeah, so basically, this is just how manifesting works. It's the universe being there for us, and it's pronoia, the universe conspiring in our favor.
Like paranoia?
The opposite of paranoia.
Ah, that sounded familiar.
Yes. So with pronoia, we are just really nurtured by the universe itself too. When we work with it, it works with us, and that's why sometimes negative things do happen, but that's because the universe thinks that that's what we want when we don't actually want it. And it does have its benefit if you are able to use it to become stronger and better, and it has a positive result. But you shouldn't have to have negativity to get to a positive result. You should be able to live your life and just be happy, because it's our birthright to be happy. But with manifestation and with mental diet, you feed yourself the thoughts and ideas that you want to foster in your life. So if you want to manifest romance, for example,
for example, the fact
no, I was going to say like us.
Oh, well, I thought you wanted me to go into the story of all of that, but maybe we should save that for another episode.
Yes, I think so, because that would be good. But like us, we manifested each other, actually. So if you want to do that, you want to focus on the feeling of being in love, not the feeling of lack of it, not having it. You can buy yourself flowers, you can write yourself love notes, take yourself out on dates. Those things are fostering your mental diet and acting as if. And you want to think, oh, how lovely it is to be in love, or I love being in love, and things like that. Positive affirmations, which are just repetitive phrases that work in your favor. All of these things are mental diet, and they are really cool when you actually use them, because they yield very interesting and surprising sometimes, and definitely fun results.
So here's where I have another question then. So this all sounds more so like mental health related things than sort of actual, I don't want to say action, because all thought is a form of action, influences your day, influences the type of day you're going to have. If you wake up on the wrong side of bed, so to speak, as people have said for a very long time, then you can have an awful day, even if great things happen. But things like positive affirmations, things like reassuring oneself, practicing self-care and self-love, those all, for me at least, have always fit firmly into the realm of practical self-care. You're now also saying that these things can apply further than that, in a way that has a much greater tangible effect than even the realm of self-care would suggest.
Yeah, because the thing is, manifesting is both psychological and spiritual, so it's scientific and it's spiritual. With psychology, when you are taking care of yourself and you're in a better mindset, a better state of being, you're able to capitalize on your time, on your energy, and on your productivity. You're able to be more efficient and really actually follow through on your goals, or take opportunities that lead to you accomplishing things. So psychologically it is sound, but also spiritually, in terms of just believing that you have these untethered abilities. Like you're untethered to the earth in the sense that your abilities are almost not almost, actually transcendent. They are transcendent, and we have influence on the 3D from being in what in the manifesting community we call the 4D, where your mindset is what creates the 3D, and the 3D just catches up to it. So it also is, the subconscious is also a part of psychology too. So manifesting is really both practical and optimistic in the sense that it's science and spirituality combined.
Now that's very interesting, and I'm thinking I'm beginning to see some of the connections that you've already mentioned. For example, the idea of the healthy mind diet. It would make sense, like you said then, where if you have this manifested mindset or this manifestation mindset, or in other words, a healthy mind diet, that would then allow your mind to work more efficiently, like a body actually getting physically fit. If your brain is positive, if your outlook is good, if you're assured that you will succeed, then even if you don't, you're more likely to find something you consider success in your failures when you go and try to do something, maybe like a job interview, or maybe just having some success in your social relationships, whatever that means to you.
That's true. I see a lot of parallels between cognitive behavioral therapy and dialectical behavioral therapy and manifesting, in that cognitive behavioral therapy allows you to take negative things and sort of, there's a word for it that I have to remember because I forget it quite a bit, but I'll mention it in the next episode so that we have something to kick off on. But
okay.
Cognitive distortion. There you go.
Oh.
I got it. So cognitive distortions. It allows you to take cognitive distortions or negative thoughts and reframe them into better thoughts, better ideas to make yourself feel more comfortable in existing, which is the bare minimum. We should be comfortable. And revising is very similar to reframing in that it's a manifestation technique where you take an instance that happened in the day or in the past at some point and you rewrite it to how you would want it to have gone. So reframing and revising, for example, those are very similar things. And in dialectical behavioral therapy, being present and mindful are very important to coping in that form of therapy. And so it is also very important in manifesting because you want to be present and mindful in order to focus on being efficient and focus on being intentional and wanting things and making the things that you want happen.
So that's all sounds wonderful, but in that case, and it is, I'm sure that it is. After all, I've seen some of these effects firsthand.
And you've also had them.
This is true. But for the people that don't quite know yet, or might only be getting a vague picture of what this is all about then, what exactly, in the simplest terms you can, is manifestation? What exactly is all of this sort of mental power you say that people have? What is it, and what can it do?
Manifesting is thinking, doing, and being what you want to get what you want, because people have this idea that in order to be happy, you have to have external things to bring you joy, but in actuality, internally you have to work on it first and be happy on the inside in order to bring more of that about, because it follows universal laws, including the law of attraction, which says that like attracts like, sort of like a magnet. When you are feeling a certain way, you're able to Mario wanted to point something out. I know that magnets are opposites attract, but I'm just talking about we are magnets in the sense that we attract things to us. So those are two slightly different analogies, but like attract likes is a maxim for the law of attraction because we attract what we are. I'm just using the term magnet in the sense that we are attracting things to us, but I know the opposites attract, don't worry.
No, I know that too, honey. That's not what I meant to suggest. Rather, just that the terminology of a magnet is important to use and consider, but I didn't want the audience to be confused if they were like, but wait a minute, with a magnet, positive and negative attract. But you see, there's more than one type of attraction in the universe. For example, gravity.
And yes. Oh, sorry, continue.
No, I was just going to wrap that up by saying gravity, for example, mass attracts other mass. You, in a sort of sense, are a great attractor in your own life. The more mass you have, the more self-power that you have, the greater and the more quickly you will attract things that are like you. Put it like this. Another way to think of it in the social sense is, birds of a feather flock together. Those that are like you will find their way to you, but only if you explicitly and outwardly show the type of person that you are. And not in the social sense of, I like X, Y, and Z, A, B, and C, but your true inner character, which is also something that we'll be touching upon much more later in this series about manifestation and the inner mind, and how it has much more influence on the outer world than even you may think.
Yes. And it's funny that you mentioned gravity because that's something that I like to mention in the sense that the universal laws are constantly working whether or not you believe in them or you are actively pursuing them, because gravity is going to do what gravity does whether you believe in it or whether you are studying it or actively trying to stick to the ground. So that's actually interesting that you brought the gravity up. But really quickly, I just wanted to mention again back to the law of attraction. It is one of the laws that we use to manifest, and by doing and being what we want first, we're able to have the 3D catch up with us and reaffirm and reinforce those things, because the universe then understands what we want. And it's like putting out an order at a fast food chain. You order what you want, and then if you are precise and clear with what you say, you get what you want back as an order. So using the law of attraction is like that in the sense that you are affirming what it is that you want so that the universe knows what to do and is able to listen to you and give you what you want. It's pretty fun because what it can do for you is change your life. Actually, like literally, your life will be so much better for it. And I've been studying the law of attraction since I was 12, and I found it helps me to be not only happier when, I find myself spiraling, because I do have mental illnesses. When I find myself spiraling, I find that it brings me back from those, but I also find that it's helped me to pursue a lot of opportunities that I would have otherwise maybe run away from. So that's the psychological aspect of it again. And it's also worked in the synchronicity sense, and having a lot of things pop up that wouldn't have if I didn't think of them first, like the Olive Garden story. And for Mario, what is your brief law of attraction learning manifesting story?
Well, that would be you, honey.
Really?
Yes, really. It's a long story, but the briefest version of it that I can give is that even though I have always been a very sort of STEM-oriented person, and I'll admit that there was a time where I would turn up my nose at these notions of spirituality, that once I actually stopped and thought about it, and thought about the real tangible implications of them in a psychological sense, in a sociological sense, not only was I able to utilize them in order to get the things that I want above all else, but I'm now sitting right next to her.
Stop, you're gonna make me blush. gosh, wait, that is so sweet. Okay, sorry. Mario is quite the Casanova, but only for one person. That's me. And also, he's experienced a lot of manifestation through me too, because I've taught him about it. So he's manifested his own things, and I've also been with him when I've manifested some of my things. So yeah. Sorry, I sound like a creature there, but that's okay because I am a creature.
That she is, and it is one of her best features.
Thank you.
Of course. But now, as we're approaching our destination quite quickly, I think we should try to wrap up our last final thoughts for today. See if there's any last things that we missed, or maybe some clarity that we can give. Because I know you said quite a lot. You mentioned the 4D, mentioned the 3D, you mentioned quite a bit about the different nuances of manifestation and positive mental attitude sciences, so to speak, the different aspects of it. I think what we should do for the last few minutes is just lay out all of these different things in basic terms so that for those of us just tuning in, we have an idea of what to expect the discussion to be going forward.
So manifesting, right? That is creating the life that you want by embodying the person that would live that life. The law of attraction is like attracts like, so it is that same idea of manifesting. The law of assumption is believing something to be true so that the law of attraction makes it true. The law of vibration is vibrating at that frequency and attracting those high vibrational frequency experiences to you, which means operating at a more positive level, being mindful, present, reframing and revising, and not eschewing your negativity completely like some people think, but it is working with your negativity to understand yourself, doing shadow work, and reframing limiting beliefs, and then taking those things and letting go of them once you reframe them and revise them so that you can learn from them and have a positive result from those experiences, and changing your beliefs from negative to the positive aspects and versions of them so that you can understand different facets of the experience and then choose intentionally to pursue opportunity and to pursue the better, more productive and efficient and loving experiences that are the flip side of negativity, because every negative experience has a positive flip side to it, and vice versa. So it's really about learning from the negative part and choosing to actively go after the positive part. And there's so much more that you can learn too about manifesting, and we're here to teach you. We are going to be doing this podcast every Monday.
I believe that was the plan, yes.
Every Monday, we will be having this podcast out on the Pearl Perspective website at pearlperspective.com, as well as on YouTube at the Pearl Perspective, the Pearl Perspective is the YouTube channel, and also maybe on Spotify. We'll see if we can set that up, and we will be here to teach you about manifesting like we manifested each other, and going to see Taylor Swift 3 times in a row.
That's quite the story, but if you want that, you'll have to just come back another time. Won't tell you when, because that way you have to check out all of the podcast.
Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in and joining us and listening to us be us. And I love you.
I love you. And to all of those who have decided to tune in, thank you. All jokes aside, all serious matters aside too, it means a lot that we have the chance to actually talk to some folks and maybe help them out, especially if they're not quite sure with their direction in life, or if they just would like someone to listen to and talk with and maybe just have a little companionship.
Because it's fun, and no man is an island, which is really true. We are all meant to be, with the people that we appreciate the most and who appreciate us the most. And we also are meant to live our best lives. So let's all do that and have a beautiful one and keep manifesting.
Indeed. And after all, if the 4D and the 3D, as you put it, which I think would be a good thing to talk about next episode, are really as connected as you say, then we are as much the universe as the universe makes us. And in that sense, not any one of us is separate from the others. So let's make sure that none of you feel like that.
Yes, everybody is you pushed out after all, and I'm grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you. And again, thank you all for listening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Now have a great day, y'all.
Bye. Have a great day. And keep manifesting.
Keep manifesting.